Good morning, everybody. It's Elizabeth Smith here for another 5-10 minute coaching set of self-coaching and tools and tips and questions, theories, whatever you want it to be. Today, it's about how might your past be pipping you at the post. You know, when you're heading for something and right at that last minute, it's like, oh, no, perhaps not. Maybe I shouldn't. What if? This might happen, that might happen, and some things from somewhere just nips in front of you. It happens to me, and I imagine it happens to most of us. So this is a little bit of a self-coaching tip that has worked very well for many of my clients and past service people who have come across my services. So in my world of neurolinguistic programming, we talk about our past and our future as if it was on a continuum, so a timeline, if you like. And on that timeline, we organize our thoughts and our experiences. Hello, Kaylee. Good morning. Hello, Abby. We organize our experiences on that timeline as if they are points that we need to remember. So think about it as if when you are reading a book, you turn the page over, don't you, the corner of the page, so you don't quite forget where it is. Or if you're like me and love stationery, they're the sticky tabs, and you put them on markers on your book to remember which line exactly it was that you were really reading. Or, you know, you go through something on Facebook or something like that, and or on, you know, and you find something and you bookmark it. So you can go back to it. This is exactly what we do with our brains. So we take in all of the information from all of our senses, and we turn it into something that represents, it's a reminder of that time. So it might be a significant smell, it might be a significant color, a significant sound, but it will remind us of it. So these are these markers, okay, that are going on in our heads. Even when you look at your own personal calendar, and well, especially if it's out on view anywhere, you make little sort of asterisks and things, but only you know what they represent, so that you can go back. So if it's a haircut or something, you know, or maybe something more private, but you'll mark it on there, and then you know exactly just by looking at it. No paragraphs, nothing else. It's just a straight on trigger. That's it. That's what it means. You don't have to have a full conversation about it. So this is what really our brains do, and we put all these events in, if you like, in I don't know, we all interpret it differently, but for me, when I was doing these types of things when I was training, it's like in a filing cabinet. And when you want to go and find something, you almost search through that filing cabinet of experiences in order to relate to what's happening to you on the outside in that very moment. And it is a split second, like I just said about the calendar. You don't have to have a full conversation. You don't have to run through the whole scenario. It's just there immediately. So think about it when you're going on in life. There are times when you'll get to these points, and most of my clients will talk about sort of those critical voices, the critical situations where maybe they fell flat on their face when they did something and they're never going there again, or, you know, they've made some massive faux pas and they don't ever want to see that person again, and immediately they get some churning in their stomach and some anxiety, and they feel that their chests are shrinking. It's all of those sorts of things. And often it's what's been triggered. It's something that's happened in the past that's been triggered. So I had a client who was desperately worried about public speaking. Not that they couldn't speak, they knew they could speak. They wanted to go up and speak, but the fear and the anxiety they felt before going on stage was enough at one point to make them very unwell, and they couldn't actually stop being sick, so they never got to go on stage. Well, when you dig around in the past of somebody, especially this person, it turned out that she was once called up in front of our whole class after doing a project at school, and expected to be called up because it was the announcement of who'd won. So she thought automatically, wow, I've done really good. And she'd been very proud of her work. But instead of being congratulated and boosted and elevated in front of the class, she was absolutely destroyed. She was berated for her idea, for the turnout of what it was. And that moment actually has stuck with us. Any time then from then on, being invited to come and do something, there was a nervousness there of walking into a trap, if you like. So we were never going to get her out there until the realization that was just a moment in time, one moment. But every time of this breakthrough that she was going to go and do, and this was the next step within her business and within, her life and things like that, actually, without tackling that and understanding that and ring fencing it, we were never going to get her up there to actually achieve what she was always meant to achieve. So the self-coaching bit for you guys today, and over the next few weeks, is think about something really quite simple. And I always think about starting with simple because it's about getting process and it's about getting the instructions right, if you like, and understanding each of the steps that we need to take. But think about it and think about writing down as if you were interviewing your younger self. Now, I don't mean you have to go back to childhood. This could be last year. This could be the year before. It could be last month when this incident happened. But go in there and interview yourself about what truly happened. Get down sort of what do you recall feeling like? What was the tone of this person? Really be quite descriptive, as if you're going to be published. And then once you've finished that, just stand back, reread it as the person you are now, and look back, but critique the person who is giving you that information. Critique not the younger you, but the situation, the environment around you, and actually look at it and ask these questions about, was it my interpretation? Was it the person who was speaking to me? How did they deal with it? And it's easier to think about a younger child. So for instance, if you took the scenario I've just used, you take the teacher and you say to yourself, now looking back at that situation from a distance, was that teacher right? Did that younger person deserve that? How did the teacher behave? How did the teacher, what was the benefits behind what the teacher was saying? So really critique the teacher. And then I believe that you will stand back and go, actually, none of that was deserved. What they could have done, that would have made a difference. Okay, they didn't like my project. Okay, they didn't like this, that, and the other. What would have been a better way of doing it that would have promoted me, which would have developed me as a human being? And rewrite your past so that when it pips you at the post, it's actually get in. Those people were wrong. You can do it. Let's show them. Just really flip it round for yourself. It's absolutely possible. It's out there and you can take it and you can grab it. And it is that rewriting. It's not undoing. You can't undo the situation, but you can rewrite the outcome. Now, it's very simple and it's very short. And yes, there is some much, much more that we could go into, but that would be left for a one-to-one. So I don't want to go there with you because I'd like to unpick it thoroughly with you, but do try it, and even small steps make massive changes. So please have a go. If you think of anybody who would benefit from this, please feel very free to share my video. And thank you so much for joining me, Abby and Kaylee, and anybody else throughout the day. Thank you. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.